Today on Metaphysical Mississippi, we've got Beth Herzig and Jina Daniels, and they are both participating in a collaborative event. It's a retreat, a weekend camp out, and we will find out more about that, so stick around. Hey, Jina. Hey, Beth. I know you've both
Hi.
been on here before. Hey. Um, I'm excited to hear about the Down to Earth Art and Wellness Campout happening in November. I'm excited to hear about the Down to Earth Art and Wellness Campout.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it. We love that you love promoting all the wellness and holistic stuff going on in Jackson. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to tell people about what we're doing. So yeah, I'm here representing Holistic Hearts Collaborative, and I also work for Flowering Lotus Meditation. So those are kind of projects that are really close to my heart. And this is the second time that Holistic Hearts has collaborated with Jax-Zen. So we're excited to be working together again.
Oh, that's right. Y'all did Elevate
hmm
over the summer, and I went to that, and that was great. To be at Julian Hall and hear live music and all the practitioners offering services. It was a really fun event. I did some ecstatic dancing, which is one of the first times I actually did it. Are we going to have anything fun like that at the camp out?
Yeah, so this camp out is going to be out in Canton, and we are actually taking over a kids' summer camp. So one of our people that are involved in the planning of this said it right. Well, we'll make our kids go to summer camp in the sweltering heat of summer, and then we'll take it over for fall when it's actually bearable and it's an adult camp out, but we'll be and hanging out in a kids summer camp setting. So I think it's pretty exciting just to think that like we get to go to camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when Beth brought this idea to us, she had that vision of like, taking over the kids' camp, and yeah, immediately we were like, yeah, this is going to be so much fun.
And y'all will get into more of the details, but when I remember looking at some of the events and things that are there and available. And I thought I saw like a playground that us adults can go and play on. That in itself is just going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that like what people really don't give themselves a chance to do in their everyday lives is to have time for creativity, have time for contemplation, have time for play. And so these are things that are really important to our organizations, our businesses, our kind of way of being in life. And so I know that we've shared the idea of wanting to offer that as an opportunity to the community. So we both have planned retreats in our different areas. I just did a retreat in Bay St. Louis last weekend that was a meditation retreat, just a 3-day retreat. So that's, going away from your everyday life and letting the whole schedule be planned for you to the point that you don't have to worry about anything and you can just be. So the retreat that I was at is meditation. We had a great teacher that really did a lot of interaction, so it wasn't completely silent, but also knowing that like we have great food provided. Those are things that when those things are taken care of, accommodations, food, and even the plan of what to do, it allows for you to let go of that feeling of wanting to make sure that you fill your day up or and so yeah, I would love to hear a little bit about Gina's retreat because she went way further than Bay St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah. So I just came back from facilitating a retreat in Costa Rica, and it was about, what was 5 days active, but it was about a week long when you count the travel part of it. And it was based around art and wellness as well. And it was wonderful. Obviously, it's Costa Rica. But I think the thing that what appeals to me from a camp out standpoint is like what we're about to do too, was in Costa Rica, was that connection with nature. So yes, it's that contemplation, it's getting away from your everyday life, but being able to dive into some creative activities, being able to set time aside to just be, like you said, but then also really connect with nature. And I think the campground, or the campsite that we're going to be at, is going to be give us that a lot of opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, we're in the woods, so it's really great that it's very close to Jackson, as far as maybe just about a 20-minute drive from Jackson. But then we're in the woods, we're lakeside, so there's a huge lake that will be, right next to, and then walking trails. And being in nature brings up a lot of different things, as far as even just noticing what is happening in nature. We don't take that time in our everyday lives very often. And nature noticing us. We were at our retreat this weekend. This is not is what I imagine Costa Rica is like, but we had a fox that came to our retreat, and it was so cute. And I felt like it was following me around. I saw it the first night we were there. I think of myself as like, I put everyone to bed. Of course, it was just time for lights out and everyone went to their rooms, but then I have to like make sure that everything's okay. And I was walking through this courtyard between two buildings, and it just trotted right by me. And I was like, wow, it visited me. And then I saw it again the next morning when I was drinking my
Yeah.
coffee. So how many times in your life are you going to just be hanging out with wildlife? Not very often.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we noticed that too. So after a period of time being in, the jungle, we're still wound up, but it takes a little while to kind of bring it down and have that connection. And you're right, like the jungle opened up to us. And on that day that it opened up, we were seeing, sloths and birds and monkeys and iguanas. And it's just like, maybe they were there the whole time, but we weren't paying attention and they weren't showing themselves to us. But it's amazing that when you get yourself to that point and you allow it, then I feel like nature allows it too. So it's so cool that you said that, because we noticed the same thing happen there.
And it's
Yeah.
in November, so being outside, it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Right. And speaking of that, I mean, I know that there's kind of like a lot of different comfort levels with wanting to be outside. And so I feel like I remember going to camp and kind of being like, oh, I don't know about being outside all the time, when I first started camping as a kid. And then, other people are like, put me in a tent, I'm fine. Let me just lay under the stars. So maybe Jina, you could talk about like the different kind of things that we have to offer as far as levels of accommodation. We're trying to make sure that everybody feels comfortable.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So when you click into the ticket link, you're going to have an opportunity to pick your choice of accommodation. So we have a few private rooms available, and those would be in a bigger, like a shared. It's a real good size house with private rooms, and I believe do those have private baths? Beth?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's your, one accommodation for there. There's only a few of those. So if that's your comfort level, you want to probably try to sign up early. And then we have an option for bunkhouses. And the bunkhouses actually have, I mean, there's like, I think 9 bunk beds in each one. Now, we're not going to make y'all climb up on the top bunks, but we're going to have basically, twin size beds, but you'll be indoors with shared bathrooms. And in that case, you just, you'd bring your own pillow and sheet. But still, it's not super primitive. And then we've got tent camping available. And so if you are one, like Beth said, that wants to just be out there in the tent under the stars, we've got that one for you. And we'll have an area where people can just bring their tents and set up. So if you're not a camper at all, but you still want to come and hang out and do all the things with us, or maybe your schedule doesn't allow you to just stay over for whatever reason, you can also come and hang out with us with the commuter ticket, which means that you'll get in for the day and be able to hang out and do a lot of the things that Beth's going to talk about here shortly.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so really we're allowing a lot of different options to participate, but what's great is the base of everyone that pays any of the accommodations. Everyone's getting 5 meals, everyone's getting to do a cacao ceremony, also make a journal, so an intention setting journal at the beginning of the retreat. So we'll kind of have like an opening ceremony on Friday night where we'll be doing those things, and then also ecstatic dance that night. And they have a very cool A-frame. It's a chapel, so this is a Episcopal campgrounds. So all summer long, it's got all kids there all summer having a great time. And I think the capacity is like over 150 if you were to just like make everyone have top bunk, bottom bunk. That's, when the kids are there. But so this is the chapel that we're creating it, and we're changing it into the Zen Den. And I just love like an A-frame building, there's something about that. So it's just an A-frame building that we're going to that's where we'll do the opening ceremony and make that be the Zen Den the whole rest of the time. And then in the mornings, we'll be doing some mindful movement practices. So we'll do Qigong, and then also yoga, meditation, sunrise time. So that'll be on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be a full day of moving through different sessions. And basically, we want to make it so that you can make your own retreat. So instead of saying at 1 o'clock do this, 2 o'clock do this, 3 o'clock do this, we'll have sessions that are have optional workshops available. And so basically, when you go to register, you'll see that you have all these choices of different workshops that you can take. And based on who signs up for what is what will be available. So you do have to have some kind of intentionality in when you sign up, what do you want to learn? It's not going to be things happening all the time and you can just get in where you fit in. We need to know like who's signing up for what so that we can let these teachers and healers and different people know what they need to have ready for everyone. So Jina, do you want to talk about all the different things that people have choices to sign up for?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really excited about is the diverse options that you have available. And keep in mind that first ticket price that we talked about, that gets your lodging and all the things that Beth talked about. Now these are add-ons, so there will be additional price for any of these, but you don't have to sign up for any of them. And then we're asking you to kind of just be mindful of your time there, and and maybe limit your add-ons to about 3 at the most, so that way you do allow yourself to do some of the other things that just maybe aren't, you don't pack your day up completely. So we've got some some healing centered yoga with Caitlin. She's going to be doing some like trauma informed yoga. We've got wire wrapping with Ada. Sherry Crook is going to be offering an automatic writing and drawing workshop. Christy Littlefield is going to be offering an herb crafting workshop. And then we've got Jamie Kuhn is going to be doing a word mandala workshop. It's just like a creative activity with making mandalas out of words. And then Lindley Healy is going to be offering a workshop on EMF, electromagnetic field, how we're constantly being bombarded with that and how we can protect ourselves against EMF. She's also going to be offering some Reiki sessions. And then we've got some like a watercolor workshop on paper presented by Sarah Schultz, where she's going to do some like watercolor trees called Elements. It's really cool workshop on that. And then yours truly, Emily's going to be offering a storytelling class. And I think we ought to give you, since you're giving us the opportunity. So we'll come back to you in a minute and have you tell us more about your workshop in detail, if you don't mind. And then William is going to be offering a community building workshop called Warming the Heart and Home, where he'll be going through some exercises on creating some little community kits out of herbs and oils and things like that. So that'll also have some availability. All of these have, there's descriptions of all of these online here. Kelly Mercury out of our shop is going to be offering energetic Reiki and energy clearing sessions, as well as some readings, some intuitive card readings. Hope from Jax-Zen is also going to be offering 30-minute targeted massage. We've got Dottie Prestel, who's going to be offering some Jin Shin sessions. And then Kayla, I think, is doing the like a new moon intention tinctures, and also some astrology tarot readings. So we've got like, I mean, I'm really excited about just the array of different things that we're going to be offering. And each of those, depending on what y'all sign up for, we'll get back to you on your schedule, your personal schedule, because once we get everybody figure out who's signed up for what, then we'll kind of figure out what times everybody will slot into. And yeah, and I think it's just like, I love the idea of just creating your own retreat.
It's like a la carte. So you were building your own retreat based on what you want to learn. And it's really important to just pick 3, so that basically on Saturday, there will be 5 workshop sessions that are 90 minutes each. So we'll all have breakfast together. We'll all then do 3 sessions and then have lunch, and then 2 sessions before the evening festivities. And you want there to be sessions that you're not required to show up for a workshop, because we'll also have different self-guided stations. So that's going back to what you were saying, Emily, the adult playground. So we're creating a station that is going to be either games or hula hoops or bubbles or things that, we as adults don't necessarily partake in, but hey, why not? We're at summer camp. We're just going to have fun and do what we want with our time. So there'll be we're calling it adult playground. And then also like we have some writing, facilitated writing workshop. And then also we're doing like a writing prompt area where you could take your journal that you've just made the night before and go pull a prompt out of a jar and go sit under a tree and write. Also grounding and forest bathing instructions. So that might be something where we're giving you the instructions, but you're off on your own maybe, or you go with a friend and do that. So yeah, like there's some guided or kind of, we're giving you advice, but we're not telling you what you have to do on those downtimes that you're not doing a workshop, because in order to enjoy nature, you need to just be in it. So
right. And then we're also going to have opportunity if you wanted to go back inside. I mean, the Zen Den will be available if you want to just go back in and chill out or do your own meditating or stretching or contemplation. That'll be available during the downtimes as well. And then of course we'll have the community canvas for some more collaborative art. So yeah. Emily, while we're talking about these add-ons, though, would you tell us a little bit more about your workshop that you're offering? Because it looks really exciting.
Yes. Well, to kind of spring off of, I don't know what exactly the writing prompts are, but I thought these type of events can really help you reflect on your life. And it really helped me to verbalize it and record myself and share my story. It was only for me at the time. But I planned in the workshop to just kind of guide people to, get their thoughts together, and then maybe go and record themselves, in a space so they can just, share. and then they can see themselves. And if they want to share it with everybody else, they can or not. But I think it's a great way and to possibly share your own story of enlightenment or the hardships or the great things or just your thoughts and do it alone. Or we can, and I'll just share also some free things that I do. If you ever decided you want to start vlogging, I can share some free tips on free software that's available and how you can edit. So we won't really get very heavy into the editing because I don't imagine everybody will bring their laptops, but just bring your phone or just, you're already going to have art and journaling. So they can also use that just to get their thoughts together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's just important to see yourself.
And I think that's, I mean, if those of us that know you, it's like, I am so super impressed and of just, how you just get on and just do it. And I think, and like you did this week, Beth, with your, dyeing your hair and getting on, just a quick little chat. And so many of us, I'm talking to me, we get caught up in that. What do people think? And am I doing it right? And how do I sound? How do I look? And so I think that just getting used to being in front of the camera, even if it's for yourself, to record these times, these experiences, I think that's really cool.
And I always thought, it's not that I'm falling in love with myself, but I'm like, I'm not such, I've always been an overweight person. I've always stuttered, sort of. Wasn't I was always the one who listened and didn't talk. And for me to I was always the one to, be quiet. So recording myself helps me to say, no, I have something to say.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at myself while I say it.
It's amazing.
And then I realized, because we have a self-image problem sometimes. And we're not the freaks that we think we are sometimes. It's kind of normal.
Well, I don't know about you. I am, so no. Well, I feel like you definitely have gifts to share, and all of us have our own unique gifts, and that is you falling in love with your own gifts, So I feel like that is a beautiful sentiment, and you're brave to say, hey, I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm doing it, and then share that with other people. Like, I feel like it's so brave. So brave in the sense that it's out of the ordinary, but it's just a perfect sentiment for any of these practices that we all want people to learn more about or offer to people. We don't do any of this to become affluent or something like that. We really do it because we enjoy seeing people make that transformation. We enjoy seeing the change in someone from the moment they walk in somewhere going I don't know anybody, and then at the end we're like, we love you, I can't believe that you showed up for yourself and us, and thank you for being here. It's very much like a transformational thing that happens at pretty much everything that we've done, that has these elements of creativity, healing, music, and community. That's the main thing that happens at a retreat, is that we become a community, this insular little community that is only happening in that moment for those 3 days or 72 hours or whatever it may be. But we become a small community, and we're eating together, we're hanging out, we're having fun, we're being a community that's temporary too. So I feel like that even feels important to mention, that that group of people, whoever shows up at Down to Earth Campout, will be that'll be that one time that happens. And I'm just really excited because I know that we've had successful events in the past, so I know that this will be really unique and fun. So I hope a lot of people get to come to it.
Yeah.
And
So share the word and tell your friends and invite others, please.
I was going to say one thing that Jina at Jax-Zen, the Hartual. I attended my first Hartual um, uh, last month, and or maybe it was the beginning of this month. I can't remember, but talk about intimidation. I was so intimidated because y'all are spectacular artists that are there, but it just it got me out of my comfort zone, and I surprised myself about what could come, what can be produced when you're just in that group of love and you're talking about, I mean, I think I was probably in tears just as we were doing a meditation before. And, so I think having a weekend full of that is going to be phenomenal. And I'll bring my tissues with me.
Yes. Yes. They're very good healing tears.
Yeah. I know y'all want to get to a little more specifics about the event, but I have a question. What is forest bathing? And you had to do it with another person? I'm imagining,
Well, even when I said adult camp out, I was like, okay, don't be dirty-minded, people, okay? Like adult playground. No, stop being dirty-minded, okay? So it's about forest bathing. Most of the time you're going to keep your clothes on, okay? So
at least this time you are.
at least this time. We're at the Episcopal campout, okay? We want to be able to come back there. So basically it's about immersing yourself in nature. Okay, so if you were to go and lay down on the forest floor or just on the ground, you can feel the connection of your body to earth, and that is on the touch points of all where on your body you feel the earth. There's proven facts that that is vibrational. You're feeling, whether or not you can feel a specific vibration, you are being vibrated by the earth because your body is touching the earth. And then imagine laying down and looking up. So when they talk about bathing in it, you're bathing in the light, you're bathing in the colors of the trees, you're noticing what, the wind.
Yeah, we're going to wear our clothes for this one. So.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking is, it's going to crawl on me. Is there going to be spiders? I just need to get over that. I wasn't really afraid when I was a kid.
So that's the thing. It's funny that you mentioned that. So think about like whether we're being creative or playing in the forest or whatever, it's like, let's channel our inner child, our inner 5-year-old and go back to that where we didn't worry about what people thought. We didn't worry if we got dirty. We didn't worry if people, if the bugs were calling on us.
Yes.
But I don't think we'll have bugs, but
yeah.
Lily?
Not to get too deep on it, but really when we do that, when we let go of these kind of like conditioned thoughts and conditions that we've, just really sloughed on over our life, when we let go of that, it's like we are returning to our own true nature. So like that's what we see in children, is this kind of like lust for life and really being present in the moment of what is happening. And that's really how you can like live a fuller life, is by being really engaged in what you're doing in the moment, and by doing something that's out of your comfort zone. So like you were saying about going to the heart, doing the art work, with people that you were thinking, oh, they're better than me, but like you still tried it and you still did it, and then you saw like, oh, I can be creative in this way that maybe I didn't realize I could be. So that's another good thing about this experience, is that we will we're offering all these different ways to express ourselves, even if it's something we've never done. It's like a great way to kind of try something new.
So what else have y'all not mentioned that will be happening? And then how can people register?
So basically on Saturday, we'll close out the day with a jam session, basically. So we have a lot of people that do a lot of sound healing, a lot of drumming, and we'll have a bonfire. And so if you're a musician or you even have musical instruments, you can bring those. And really, it's going to be a play it by ear, literally, and see what happens. With just hanging out around a campfire. That's always fun at a campout. And yeah, and then we'll get up the next morning and do yoga and have breakfast again together and do a closing ceremony. And really, I would just encourage you to like dip your toe into doing something different. This is so close to Jackson. We've got so many things that are a new way to connect with people. And if you're a little bit nervous like about going to something and maybe you feel like, oh, I don't know anyone, like not a lot of people will know each other. So it really is about creating that temporary community, and just all are welcome. And I promise that you're going to feel comfortable just as soon as we get started. So I just want to encourage people to come out and see what it's all about, because we're here as a community to support one another and learn things together. So Jina, do you want to talk about how to sign up and everything?
Yeah, so I think you'll have probably the link below, right, Emily,
Yeah.
here.
And we'll have it on our
And
website as
okay,
well.
yeah. And and you can go to, my Jax-Zen website, and we have it all over Instagram. And so anywhere, the places you follow us, we have links there. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to Beth or myself. Our cell phones are posted all the places too. And then just if you have any questions on the registration process, please don't hesitate to ask us any questions that you have, because when you're using a third party sign up thing, some of it's clunky, but the idea is you want to get in, you want to register for your lodging first, and then if there's any add-ons, you can add those as well. Yeah, we're really excited about this, and we hope that to see all of you there. And thank you, Emily, for having us on to talk about it.
Yes. Is there a deadline for registration?
Yes, in order to be organized and, get our food prepped and know that who's going to be where at what time on this schedule, we are closing registration on Halloween. So the camp out is actually November 10th through the 12th at Camp Bratton Green in Canton, Mississippi, but the registration will close on Halloween so that we can make sure that we are totally prepared to have everyone out at camp.
Yes. And so after they register and after between the 31st and when it starts, y'all will follow up to give people their schedule of kind of like the retreat schedule, or will they just show up and
Yeah, you'll know by the time you come to camp, you'll know what your schedule is. Once I did a Girl Scout camp, and we did the same kind of idea where it wasn't necessarily that people had choices of what they were doing, but we were trying to get everyone to go to every station. And it was a zombie apocalypse survival camp. And we gave each kid a lanyard that had their schedule on it, so they were connected with their schedule at all times, because all the kids had different schedules. So I'm thinking maybe something like that, but I'm also like trying to let go of control and scheduling and paperwork, but something to that effect. People have made fun of my bracelet idea that we did once, but it worked to help people know where to go.
As one fellow Virgo to another, I think it works, and I love the idea. So
good.
So we'll definitely be communicating the personal schedule either before or when you arrive. But you'll definitely know where to go once you get to camp.
Yeah.
Well, and we also have the event on our calendar at metaphysicalms.com. And we've got the event link there as well, where people can register and find out just a little bit more. So I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you.
It'll
And
be
again, if
fun.
you have any questions, anyone, just reach out because we'd be happy to answer your questions.
Yes.
Yeah, we're happy to help you
Yes.
with any questions or trepidations or details that you need to know. We'll definitely let you in on all the secrets.
And if we don't know, we'll figure it out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks
This
so
is-
much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Get Down to Earth Art and Wellness Campout, November 10th through the 12th. All right. We hope to see you there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.